All right, so 7 popular Twitch streamers living in one 5-bedroom house in a gated community in Austin, Texas. What could possibly go wrong? Well, from rampant uncollected dog shit, dead cockroaches, noise complaints, general degenerate behavior, and an eviction, a whole hell of a lot, apparently. Okay, so what are we talking about here? Back in May, a bunch of Twitch streamers, including Pink Sparkles, kbubblez, Mitch Jones, DKane, and others, moved into a streaming house with the goal of creating a content-driven community. On paper, it's a pretty normal idea. There are gaming houses for esports teams, and there are countless examples of YouTube and Twitch personalities having houses that serve as home bases for their streams.
Toast, do you love yourself?
But in execution, things went bad fast. As in 48 hours fast. 2 days after moving into this gated community, the address of this house full of streamers was leaked online, and somebody from the outside lodged a complaint with the local housing association. And before we get into this complaint and everything it says is alleged, and theScore Esports has not been able to independently verify it. Hi, I am writing to you because I saw a house in your neighborhood and the address was leaked to the internet and to thousands of people, and I was one of them. You have 7 people living in a 5-bedroom house, live streaming people underage drinking, partying, doing drugs, etc. Pretty much engaging in degenerate activity, and now thousands of people have seen it and know where the house is. Some of the girls sell naked photos online and engage in sex work on the side. One of your tenants, Mitch Jones, has trashed so many properties prior to this one, I'm not really sure how he's allowed on the lease. They moved in 2 days ago, and this address got leaked to people who will probably call the SWAT team to that house and do all kinds of stuff that will scare the neighbors and endanger everyone. This prompted the association associated with the property to begin looking into the situation, which ultimately led to eviction proceedings. Now, according to various documents, which Pink Sparkles first posted to Twitter and then later deleted, the gang received their first letter, which kicked off the eviction proceedings on May 15th. The notice says that everyone living there is in violation of the Declaration of Covenants, Conditions, and Restrictions, specifically Section 4, which states in 3 different ways that the house is supposed to be used for single-family residents only. For example, all property owned by the association shall be improved and used solely for single-family residential use. Guest and servant quarters are permitted. Now, there are 2 important things to take away from this initial letter. One is the obvious emphasis on the single-family residence, which, if described accurately in the lease they all signed, is a potential legal problem. And 2, who in the Sam hell still has servants' quarters in 2019?
We are the time haters. We traveled all the way back through time to call you a cracker.
But on May 12th, before the group has ever served their first eviction notice, there are already issues cropping up. Pink Sparkles posted a tweet longer explaining that her roommates would consistently come home between 4 to 6 a.m. drunk as shit, causing a general ruckus with their IRL streams and causing her to lose out on sleep. Then, on May 17th, the gang received another notice which we pulled this important tidbit from. In addition to being in direct violation, the tenants are also breaking this very lease in Section 12, which states, exceeding the number of individuals who are living in the home and conducting an e-commerce business, which they are being compensated for, and thus qualifies as a business, which the lease specifically prohibits. The notice also basically says that, hey, if you don't comply with this, our shark-eyed, dolphin-smiling lawyers are going to fine the homeowner and sue you into oblivion.
You better lawyer up, asshole, because I'm not coming back for 30%. I'm coming back for everything.
Now, according to text messages between Pink Sparkles and the community representative, the homeowner has been scheduled for a July 29th meeting with the Homeowners Association. The implication being that she's going to be forced to evict them, regardless of whether or not she pays the fine. In the text thread, Sparkles writes that basically the group should go their separate ways for the sake of the homeowner. That was a lot of legal nonsense. We haven't even gotten to the dog shit yet. And yeah, there was a dog, and it shit everywhere.
There's a turd right there. There's a turd right there. There's a turd right there. There's turds everywhere.
And it continued to shit everywhere when nobody cleaned it up, including Mitch Jones.
Oh, look, another turd right over there.
The dog also reportedly shit inside of a Tide Pod box. I mean, was this the only place for the dog to go? Did the dog open the Tide box, or was this already in use? I mean, cats, yeah, makes sense, they shit in litter boxes, but dogs, they usually shit outside. This dog was shitting inside. You know what literally happened? Somebody reached in so that this actually happened. Yeah, this actually happened. Somebody went to do their laundry, reached inside the Tide Pod box, and found some dog shit. Who does that? I guess this dog does.
Like, this is just not how I want to live my life. Yo, thank you very much for the sub, dude. Appreciate that shit.
Look, I'm not in agreement with this probably rich, old, white, gated community who have nothing better to do than fester over their NIMBYism gated community bullshit. But at the same time, if you owned a house on the block, you'd probably be pissed off too, having to constantly smell dog shit and the hard partying youths who record everything they do and who have no fucking concept of sleep.
Do we know what kind of dog it was?
It's a little like piece of shit dog. On June 4th, a third and final notice was delivered to the gang that basically mimics the first two in as much as it says, hey you hooligans, it's time to pack your shit and get out, while also introducing a few new wrinkles. Based on the violations noted in the previous letter, quote, failure to cure this violation within 7 days from the date of this notice will result in a fine to be assessed against your account. And the account in this case is just for the homeowner. The notice also mentions that the homeowner is potentially on the hook for any legal fees if the association decides to move forward with a lawsuit. This brings us to right now, where, according to a video from Asmongold, who's Pink Sparkles' boyfriend and a well-known WoW streamer, both Pink Sparkles and a few other people in the house are currently looking for new places to live.
I took them out to look at apartments a couple of days ago, or actually about a week ago. So this is already happening.
He also defended Pink Sparkles after other members of the house sounded off on her for allegedly throwing them under the bus to their landlord.
There's assertion that she got them kicked out of the house. That's not true. The second day that they were there, people started calling the HOA, and all of these people started harassing them because the address was leaked. And as soon as that happened, the HOA began proceedings to try to evict them from the house on day 2.
So to me, this smacks of a few things. For one thing, I think that we forget that just because these personalities spend hours in front of the camera, command sizable audiences, and often make lots of money from those audiences, they're often in their mid-20s or even younger. And when you're in your prime partying years, living in a house full of other people who want to get down, shit is gonna get wild. Should they have abided by the rules they tried to set up early on? That's a good idea when you're living in a house full of other people. But also, maybe think twice about renting a giant mansion behind a gated community full of rich, stuffy, old white people. Just a thought. I honestly believe that this community association was looking for any reason to kick out this group of 20-year-olds who were fucking up the neighborhood. And the group potentially violating the single-family residence part of their lease was their legal leg to stand on.
Also, if you could maybe just sometimes...
Keep it down.
All right.
Yeah, there was a dog, and yeah, the dog shit everywhere. And
It's like a little kid.
and that dog shit everywhere and continued to... I don't know if I could do this.
Man, that was like shockingly good.
Yeah, we were expecting it to be garbage.
Oh, thanks.